Hey guys, my name is Tracy Brill, and this is my Module 1 for EDL 851. Some personal information about me. I am married to Caleb. We have been married for 3 years. I am from Kansas. I am the youngest of 5 children, so I'm the baby. I did go to college at K-State, so I am a Wildcat fan. I absolutely love the outdoors, anything dealing with sports, being active, and I do love to cook. So I am a teacher for second grade. This is my 9th year as an elementary teacher. I've taught 5th grade for 3 years, 4th grade for 4, and then this will be my 2nd year in 2nd grade. So I have had some different experiences with different schools. I have moved around a few times after college, and then we got married and we just moved to Western Kansas. So I'm super excited about that. But I've just learned so many different things. I've seen a lot of different teaching styles. I've experienced different cultures and principles. So that has been really awesome for me. I also did get to teach English in China for a summer a few years ago. And then I've been a part of different opportunities like coaching Girls on the Run and just different leadership opportunities. So my current school, I'm at Hugoton Elementary School. So it is a small town in Western Kansas. You can see the demographics of our school. We have an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school. So talking about supervision and evaluation, I really love this quote on the left that there is a consensus that we need to improve overall student achievement in the United States. And to help teachers to do that, we do have to fulfill that role with having effective teacher supervision and just an evaluation system that would inform their professional development and improve instruction. So that's essential to have in order for students to improve. So I loved that quote. And just real quick, talking about supervision and evaluation within teachers, it's extremely important in order for us, like I said, to see students learn and being successful inside and outside the classroom. There has to be supervision and an evaluation system. Teaching of instruction, it would be improved with and through the evaluation system. Continued learning for teaching would be possible, and having supervision and an evaluation system would allow and really help just improve the positive school culture. So it's always progressing. Now, looking at professional culture that supports and encourages improvement first is the one category that we wanted to look at through these resources that we read. So the success of a new teacher, it is linked to the success of students. And if student achievement is a priority, then new teacher development must be a priority as well. So how can that be possible? How can improvement be possible? I looked at 3 important things. First, investing in teachers. So when we hire full-time teachers, making sure they have mentors, and a lot of times these mentors are other teachers. Well, we all know as teachers that no matter if you're new or you've been doing it for 9 years, your plate is full. And so one of the articles said to hire retired teachers or hire a professional, a full-time teaching mentor that would be able to have more of the one-on-one mentorship that we all need. So first, just investing in our teachers from the get-go. Second would be to have professional development. So training, it must be early, it must be engaging for the teachers, it has to be repeated, and there has to be that accountability of them implementing what they're learning. So to do that, you could have professional development for discipline management, talking about the culture of poverty that the teachers are living in, inclusion strategies, implementing curriculum, assessment and data analysis, examining student work, how to motivate students and have them have opportunities of success, how to document policies and procedures. So all of these are great ways to improve teachers through professional development. Another one that I loved was weekly debrief. So as a new teacher, having that hands-on approach with your principal, not an assistant principal, not a mentor, but just having a debrief, a conversation with the principals would be huge. That would allow teachers to have those ideas, those conversations of how can I improve? What am I doing to improve? So those were three great resources or just three ideas that I found from the Torres and Critonis article. Also, professional culture that would support retention. So a principal's commitment to the development of new teachers can ensure teachers to stay, and it can ensure that there's going to be progress to make sure that success is happening. So how can we do that? How can we make sure that we have teachers that stay and come back? First, the most important is the school culture. So I just think evaluating staff, asking them to do some sort of a survey to get their perception on the school culture would be first, and making that change. Having a culture that's transparent, making sure it's honest, and you can trust everyone in the school is so important. Having a culture that praises and recognizes what you're doing well. At any level, we all want that. Our kids need that. And even as adults, we need to have that in our culture as well. Building strong relationships, operating as a team, and really encouraging mindfulness. So some easy ideas that you could use even starting tomorrow. Having snacks is a great way. A snack cart is something that I have seen a lot of, and that is a fun way to have a positive school culture. Exercise groups, having a work day or work time, having a principal though go in and say, hey, I'm going to cover your plan time or cover your 30 minutes. What can I do for you? Giving time off. So when we have days off, allowing those days to be off. First, principals set that example, and they are leading by the example. And so they either care or they don't care about their staff's mindfulness, and that goes into the culture. Number two, my second way that I saw in our resources was to insist on involvement. So to keep teachers in our school systems, they need to be involved. They have to get out of their classroom to sponsor organizations, attend games or dances or any activity, just making sure that they are present. That's how they're going to be able to build relationships and rapport with the community, with other staff members, and with the students that they have. So that is definitely two ways that you could help keep and support that retention. Another way would be to have face-to-face training. So principals should hold in-person professional development or some sort of training. The article that we did read talked about the retention rate and adhering to the training would be increased if it were done in person. So learning in person is more effective. And I can even say firsthand, I've had a lot of trainings, and I feel like when I've had them face to face, I am more engaged, and I'm going to just be able to take away more and then apply my learning in my classroom versus on trainings when I've just had it online. I hate to say it, I haven't been as focused when I haven't taken away as much as I could have. So 3 ways to keep our teachers in the building and to keep them coming back. How can we have a culture that supports and encourages learning among our staff? So a principal's commitment to the development of teachers, again, is going to help with the progress of the school and the students. So how can we do and encourage learning? So some opportunities for growth. Principals have to empower their teachers to seek professional learning outside of the school. Professional development and growth should be done, and money should be given to teachers and set aside for them to take classes, gain endorsement, or gain additional licenses for our staff to make sure that we are being students of continuing our education and developing their learning. Another idea would just be to reflect, evaluate, and plan out professional development based on the school's mission, vision, and goals for the years, or even to get feedback from staff for their ideas or their desires that they would like to continue growing in the building. And then hold professional development on campus during professional development days to encourage that learning, and then making sure that you're seeing how teachers are implementing their learning as well. So not just a one and done, but having that growing and that learning be continuous. Learning does not have to just be for school purposes. We can seek learning for teacher well-being as well. So going on to that next category of the well-being, how can we have a professional culture that supports and encourages well-being? We must do more to support school leaders, teachers, and other school staff is to ensure that their mental health and well-being is prioritized. If we don't recognize the importance of this, we will fail not only our staff, but the children and young people they support. I love these graphics from the Garland article, and again, that's in 2020, so this is very current and it's very relevant. Looking at these graphics right here just shows you how much we need to include well-being in our schools for our staff. So how can we do that? Having a self-evaluation or a survey of staff, seeing how they're doing. Number 2 would be staff care and support. So considering that school culture, can they seek support? What is the supervision like of our well-being? Number 3, looking at the workload and the work-life balance, talking to our teachers and our staff, having those conversations. What can we take off of their workload and have it more balanced? Another idea to include well-being in our school cultures would be embedding staff well-being from the top. So leaders have to embed this first in their everyday practices, how they are living out their lives in the schools. Making sure that we have a mental well-being policy as well. That's something that I never thought of until I read this article. And then continuing to measure and monitor mental well-being. So making sure that you don't just have one professional development, but that you're constantly checking in as the leader of the building. How can we measure that we are just healthy with our well-being as a staff? How can we monitor that? So this correlates to the standard in so many ways, just to develop and engage our staff, to encourage and support professional learning and a positive culture in our schools. In order for our school culture to promote improvement, we have to make sure that we are retaining our teachers, that they are coming back, that we support our staff and our students, that we encourage the well-being of all individuals in our building. So I feel like all of these articles, this module really opened my eyes to the why behind the standard and how I can meet that with my staff and just me as a teacher and in my classroom. How is this relevant? It's so relevant. One of the articles, again, was written in 2020. So showing that there are struggles among staff members, among students, among the community that our schools are located in. We have to do something about it. And so making sure that we focus on a positive professional culture is so important. And I thought the articles were great of being able to connect this into real life. And again, here's my reflection. Just being able to promote the professional culture of a building is so huge. And so I really appreciated this module and these resources.